This is the video for 8th grade math section 3-11, solving systems algebraically with word problems. What you're going to have today is you're going to have word problems, but you need to set up the system of equations first and then solve it. So you need to read the word problem, figure out what letters you're working with. If you have D for desks, that would be a great thing. C for chairs. Just choose a letter that makes sense so you know what you're talking about. When you go to set up your systems of equations, you need them to look like this. 2x plus 3y equals 10, 4x plus 5y equals 23. We want to make sure that we line up our x's with our x's, our y's with our y's, and our plain numbers with our plain numbers. We want to keep things in order like that. So if we take a look at this first word problem, it says that Brian paid $22 for 2 pizzas and 3 sandwiches. Becky paid $12 for 1 pizza and 2 sandwiches. Find the cost of each pizza and sandwich. So the 2 letters that we're working with in this one, I'm going to choose P for pizzas. And I'm going to choose S for sandwiches. It says Brian paid $22 for 2 pizzas. Now, it has this 22 at the beginning of the problem, but remember, we want that 22 at the end of the problem. So don't get tricked by that. We want 2 pizzas, so 2P, and 3 sandwiches plus 3S equals $22 total. Becky paid $12 for 1 pizza, so 1P, and 2 sandwiches, 2S, and that equals $12. Just like we did in yesterday's lesson, we need to multiply to create opposites. I always like to look for the 1, all right? The opposite of 2P is negative 2P. To get a negative 2P down here, I need to multiply this bottom equation by negative 2. Remember that you need to distribute to all 3 terms. So negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. We want to distribute all 3 times. One of the most common mistakes that people make is forgetting to distribute all 3 times. I'm just going to bring down that top equation because I didn't touch it yet. So 2P plus 3S equals 22. And now I'm going to distribute. Negative 2 times 1P is negative 2P. Negative 2 times 2S is negative 4S. So I'm going to write minus 4S. Negative 2 times 12 is negative 24. Now we have our opposites. So now that we have our opposites, I'm going to add these 2 equations going down so that 2P and negative 2P cancel each other out. 3S plus negative 4S is negative 1S. 22 plus negative 24 is negative 2. I'm just going to solve that one-step equation now by dividing by negative 1 and negative 1. Negative 2 divided by negative 1 is positive 2. So the cost of 1 sandwich is $2. Now I'm going to take that 2 and I can sub it into here or here for S. It doesn't matter which one you sub it into. I think the second equation is a little bit easier to sub into. So I'm just going to rewrite this second equation first. And now I'm going to take this 2 and I'm going to sub it in for S. So instead of 1P plus 2S, I have 1P plus 2 times 2 equals 12. And now I'm going to solve this equation. 2 times 2 is 4. So I have 1P plus 4 equals 12. Minus 4 and minus 4 to get that 1P all by itself. 12 minus 4 is 8. Divide by 1, divide by 1. We get that the cost of 1 pizza is $8. In the second equation, Amazon shipped 4 laptops and 5 printers with a combined weight of 60 pounds. They also shipped 1 laptop and 4 printers with a combined weight of 37 pounds. What is the weight of 1 laptop and 1 printer? So we have laptops and we have printers. I'm going to use L for laptops and I'm going to use P for printers. Be careful. You really want to use the capital letter L for laptops, not a lowercase l, because a lowercase l looks just like a 1. It would be a very common mistake there. So for laptops, 4L. plus 5 printers, 5P, and they have a combined weight of 60 pounds. 1 laptop, so 1L, and 4 printers, 4P, combined weight of 37 pounds. There's my system of equations. Now what I need to do is multiply to create opposites. I see that I have a 1L and a 4L. The opposite of 4 is -4. So I want to multiply this bottom equation by -4 so that I can create opposites with my L's. Distribute, distribute, distribute. So I didn't touch that top equation. I'm just going to rewrite my top equation. And now I'm going to distribute. -4 times 1L is -4L. -4 times 4P is -16P. -4 times 37 is -148. Now that I have my opposites with my L's right here, all right, I have my opposites. Now I'm going to add going down so that those 4L, the 4L and the -4L cancel out. 5P plus -16P is -11P. 60 plus -148 is -88. This is just a one-step equation now, so divide by -11, divide by -11. These -11s cancel out, so I get that P, the weight of one printer, is 8 pounds. Now I have my choice. I can take that 8 and I can sub it into here or here for P. I think the bottom equation looks a little bit easier. So I'm going to take that bottom equation and I'm going to rewrite it. 1L plus 4P equals 37. I'm going to take my answer of my 8 and sub it in for the P. So 1L plus, instead of 4 times P, I have 4 times 8 because I'm subbing in that answer, equals 37. 4 times 8 is 32. So now I'm just going to solve this two-step equation. -32 minus 32 to get the L, 1L all by itself. 37 minus 32 is 5. Divide by 1, divide by 1, L equals 5. So the weight of one laptop is 5 pounds. The weight of one printer is 8 pounds. In this last one, Jason and Jerry are competing at a weightlifting competition. Jason's barbell has 4 large and 1 small plate on it, weighing 110 pounds. Jerry's barbell has 4 large and 9 plates, weighing 190 pounds. How much does each large and small plate weigh? So my two things that I have are large plates. So I'm going to use L for large, again, a capital letter L. And I'm going to use S for small plates. It says Jason's barbell has 4 large and 1 small, 4L plus 1S, weighing 110 pounds, so equals 110. Jerry's barbell has 4 large and 9 small, so 4L plus 9S, and that weighs 190. So now that I have my equations, I need to multiply to create opposites. I have a 1S and a 9S. The opposite of 9 is -9. So I want to multiply this top equation by -9. Distribute, distribute, distribute. -9 times 4L is -36L. -9 times 1S is -9S. -9 times 110 is -990. I'm just going to recopy that second equation. 4L plus 9S equals 190. Now I have my opposites. I can see that I have a 9S and a -9S. Now that I have my opposites, I can add going down because that 9S and -9S cancel out. -36 plus 4 is -32L. -990 plus 190 is -800. Divide by -32 to solve this one-step equation. Divide by -32, and we get that L equals 25. So the weight of a large plate is 25 pounds. Now you want to take it and sub it into one of the equations. I can either sub it into here or here for L. I think that the top equation looks a little bit easier. So I'm going to rewrite that top equation. The one with the 1 is always easier to sub it into, in my opinion. So I'm going to take this 25 and sub it in for L. Make sure that you sub it into the correct space, either the L or the S. I solve for L. So 4 times 25 plus 1S equals 110. 4 times 25 is 100. So 100 plus 1S equals 110. Solve this two-step equation. So minus 100 minus 100. 1S equals 10. Divide by 1, divide by 1. We get that a small plate weighs 10 pounds. Again, pick letters that make sense for the problem, like L and S for large and small. You want to set up your equations. Make sure that when you set up your equations, you have it in a nice format that makes it easy to solve, and then multiply to find your opposites and solve the rest of it.